How Chicago's elite are stealing your tax dollars. Your tax dollars are being stolen. It's not some elaborate Hollywood-style heist. It's happening quietly, systematically, and a lot of the time, it's completely legal. It's a theft that happens in plain sight, through the backroom deals, legislative favors, and culture of pay-to-play so deeply embedded in Chicago's DNA. It's simply called the Chicago way. Every time you swerve to avoid a crater in the street and see a neighborhood service get cut, or just stare at your property tax bill and wonder how it can be so high while the city feels like it's crumbling, you're not imagining things. You're feeling the direct consequences of powerful shadow network that has other plans for your money. So where does the money really go? How does the sophisticated machine operate, and who are the elite players pulling the strings? We followed the money, dug through the indictments, and connected the dots. What we found is a staggering story of greed that leaves ordinary residents footing the bill. Section 1. The machine and its masters. To understand how your tax dollars are siphoned off, you first have to understand the machine. For decades, Chicago's politics has been dominated by a system where political power isn't about your public service. It's about amassing influence that can be monetized. Two names sat at the very top of this system for years: former Illinois House Speaker Michael Madigan and former Chicago Alderman Ed Burke. For over half a century, Ed Burke was the longest-serving alderman in Chicago history. He wasn't just any local politician, he was the gatekeeper. As chairman of the City Council's Finance Committee, he held immense power over the city's purse strings, and any business that needed a green light from the city, according to federal prosecutors, he wasn't afraid to use that power for personal gain. In December 2023, a federal jury found Burke guilty on 13 counts, including racketeering, bribery, and extortion. The trial laid his methods bare. The schemes were brazen. One involved shaking down the developers of this massive old post office project, holding up their plans until they hired his private property tax law firm. Another involved pressuring the owners of a local Burger King for the exact same reason. It was a simple, corrupt formula. If you wanted something from the city, you had to give something to Burke. For his crimes, he was sentenced to 2 years in federal prison and hit with a $2 million fine. But it doesn't stop there. If Burke was the master of city-level deals, Michael Madigan was the puppet master of the entire state. As Speaker of the Illinois House for a staggering 36 years, he ruled with an iron fist. Fellow lawmakers said he governed through fear and intimidation, where loyalty was the only currency that mattered. His own reckoning is approaching in a massive federal case involving the state's largest utility, ComEd. Madigan has been charged with racketeering and bribery, with his trial scheduled to begin in October. The alleged scheme was breathtakingly simple and deeply cynical. Over 8 years, ComEd paid $1.3 million to Madigan's political allies, many of whom did little or no work. What did ComEd get in return? Favorable legislation, passed with Madigan's help, that was worth billions to their bottom line. And who pays for that? You do. Every time you pay your electricity bill. The indictment alleges what many had suspected for years. Public policy in Illinois wasn't being written for the public good. It was for sale for the highest bidder. These aren't just a couple of bad apples. Burke was the 38th member of the Chicago City Council to be convicted of a crime since 1968. And 4 of the last 11 Illinois governors have served prison time. This is the system. This is the shadow government. Section 2, the cost of corruption, a hidden tax on everything. So what does all this back-scratching and bribery actually cost you? Let's put a number on it. An analysis by the Illinois Policy Institute found political corruption costs the Illinois economy an estimated $550 million every single year. Think about that. Over $500 million of economic activity just gone. It's a corruption tax that every single resident pays, whether they know it or not. The lost money makes it harder for small businesses to grow. It kills investment, and it means fewer jobs. This culture of corruption creates a deep, gnawing cynicism. Polls have shown that for many Chicagoans, concern about government corruption is even higher than their concern for the economy. There's a pervasive feeling that the game is rigged, that the government isn't serving ordinary people, but a select group of insiders. And you feel the effects every day. While hundreds of millions are lost to these schemes, the city faces massive budget shortfalls. As of summer 2025, Mayor Brandon Johnson administration has projected a budget gap for 2026 of over $1.1 billion. The mayor has warned that tough choices lie ahead, which could mean anything from hiring freezes to cuts in city services. This is the direct connection. The money siphoned off by schemes like the ones run by Burke and Madigan is money that isn't available for schools, paving roads, public transit, or even public safety. It's money that could be used to close the massive budget gap. Instead, you're left with the city facing painful cuts while the politically connected enrich themselves. It fuels a system where the perception of corruption is so rampant that Illinois is consistently ranked as one of the most corrupt states in the nation, with Chicago frequently named the single most corrupt city. Section 3, the shell game, neighborhoods on the brink. The impact of this shadow network goes beyond budgets and backroom deals. It actively shapes the city, deciding which neighborhoods thrive and which are left behind. For decades, this has been felt most acutely in Chicago's housing policies. Take the city's public housing. Between 1995 and 2010, the Chicago Housing Authority demolished over 21,000 units of public housing. This was done under the banner of urban renewal, but for thousands of residents, it was a one-way ticket out. The neighborhoods where these demolitions were concentrated saw dramatic shifts. As low-income, predominantly black families were displaced, the area saw an influx of wealthier residents and soaring housing prices. Studies found that in neighborhoods that experienced a public housing demolition, median rents and home values saw significant growth. Today, a similar story is unfolding in the neighborhoods like South Shore. Located near the site of the new $830 million Obama Presidential Center, South Shore has become a prime target for real estate investors. In 2022, investors bought up nearly a third of all homes for sale in the neighborhood, the highest rate in the city. Longtime residents report seeing their rents hiked by as much as 60%. They fear they are being priced out of their own community, pushed aside in a wave of gentrification. This isn't an accident, it's a pattern. Resources and developments are steered toward politically favorable projects, while systematic disinvestment continues in others. Advocates for equitable development describe how predominantly black neighborhoods on the south and west sides have suffered from disinvestment for years, while amenity-rich north side neighborhoods flourish. This creates a city of haves and have-nots, where your zip code and the political influence it holds can determine your quality of life. This is the shell game. Public funds and private investments are shuffled around the board, controlled by the powerful. And when the music stops, it's the long-term, often marginalized residents who are left without a chair. In conclusion, the story of Chicago is a story of two cities. There's the one you see on the postcards with its stunning skyline and beautiful lakefront, and then there's the other one, the one where you pay more and more in taxes every year, only to see the services you rely on get worse. The corruption we've talked about today, the schemes of Ed Burke and the indictments of Michael Madigan, the $500 million annual cost, the displacement of entire communities isn't just a political problem. It's a direct drain on your wallet and your quality of life. It's a shadow government that operates on one simple principle: public power for private. This system thrives in the dark. It relies on complexity, cynicism, and the belief that nothing can ever change. But the recent convictions of some of the most powerful figures in Illinois politics show that accountability is possible. They have exposed in stark detail how the machine works. The real solution isn't just locking up a few powerful men, it's demanding transparency. It's questioning where the money is going. It's understanding that when a street is filled with potholes, it's not just a maintenance issue. It's a symptom of a much deeper disease. The money is there. The resources are there. But until the shadow network is fully brought to the light, your tax dollars will keep serving the interests of the elite, not the people of Chicago. If you believe it's time to shed more light on these issues, subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into systems that shape our world. And let us know in the comments what you think is the biggest price Chicagoans pay for the culture of corruption.